Chosen one, pause for a moment and breathe this in, because you did not arrive here by accident. This is divine appointment, divine timing, divine orchestration. Heaven has aligned this exact second for your spirit to hear what your mind has not yet fully grasped. Your name has just shifted into destiny, and the realm of supernatural provision is opening before you. Chosen one. Something has been moving in the unseen. The Spirit of God has been positioning you, preparing you, and pulling you into a moment where financial barriers, spiritual ceilings, and generational limits can no longer hold you. You are standing at the edge of a breakthrough that does not come from effort alone. It comes from divine endorsement, from the God who gives power to get wealth, as declared in Deuteronomy 8:18. Anointed one, heaven has whispered your name, not as you have been, but as you are becoming. You are being summoned into alignment with a blessing that has been waiting for your obedience, your surrender, your readiness. Chosen one, hear this in your spirit. You are crossing into a supernatural transfer, favor, resources, opportunities, and provision flowing from realms you cannot yet see. Prepare your heart. Heaven is speaking. Chosen one. Lean in for a moment, because what I'm about to tell you is not just information, it is impartation. This is the hour where heaven is rearranging things around your life. Even things you didn't know needed rearranging. I feel a weight on this word because it is not casual, it is not optional, and it is certainly not random. Something in the spirit has shifted, and your name has been caught up in that shift. The moment you clicked on this message, heaven had already begun to move. I'm telling you this as someone who has lived long enough, battled hard enough, and prayed deeply enough to know when a moment is divine. And chosen one, this moment is divine. There have been seasons in your life where you wondered if anyone even saw you, not just people, but heaven itself. You've walked through days that felt heavy, nights that felt silent, and battles that felt unfair. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still pressing forward. That alone is proof that your story was never in the hands of your enemies, your circumstances, or your fears. Your story has always been in the hands of God. And right now, those hands are lifting your name into alignment with destiny. Anointed one, I need you to understand something deep in your spirit. The enemy has been working overtime, not because you are weak, but because you are a threat. I say that from experience. Every time I walked into a new season, especially seasons where God was preparing to elevate me, all hell would break loose. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't bad luck. It was spiritual resistance. The same thing has been happening to you. The opposition you've been facing is the strongest evidence of the assignment you carry. But here is the prophetic truth. Heaven has drawn a line, and everything that once restrained you is losing its power in this very moment. Chosen one, I know what it's like to feel overlooked. I know what it's like to feel like your prayers hit the ceiling or your voice disappears in the noise of life. But I also know what it feels like when God intervenes, suddenly, unexpectedly, undeniably. I've watched doors swing open that I never touched. I've witnessed provision appear in moments that should have produced panic. I've lived through the seasons where God whispered my name so loudly in the spirit that no earthly circumstance could drown it out. And chosen one, that is what is happening for you right now. Your name, yes, your name, is rising in heavenly places. Not because you fought for attention, not because you demanded recognition, but because heaven has ordained this moment. God Himself is shifting your identity, your authority, your influence, and your destiny into a higher realm. This is not metaphorical. This is spiritual reality. Something around your life is being unlocked. Something that was tied up is being released. Something that was closed is being commanded to open. And you can feel it, that tug in your spirit, that stirring in your chest, that sense that something is happening even if you can't fully explain it. That is the confirmation. Heaven is marking you for a new assignment, a new level, a new identity. Chosen one, hear me. This is the beginning of divine rearrangements. The things that tried to bury you are about to become the very evidence of why heaven is lifting you. The shame that tried to silence you will now serve as proof of the glory that's coming. The delays that frustrated you were actually protection. The setbacks that confused you were strategic. Your name is shifting into destiny, not next year, not someday, now. And part 2 will take you deeper into what heaven is releasing over you in this very hour. Chosen one, as we move deeper into this word, I want you to truly settle your spirit, because what heaven is revealing in this hour is not surface-level encouragement, it is strategic revelation. And revelation always arrives when God is preparing someone for movement. That someone is you. Your name is not just shifting into destiny. The very atmosphere around your life is being recalibrated for breakthrough, for elevation, for supernatural transfer. Anointed one, you've felt it for a while now, that unsettling in your spirit, that subtle pressure, that internal stretching you couldn't explain. It wasn't anxiety, it wasn't confusion. It was heaven calling your name louder than before. There are moments in life when God whispers, but there are also moments when He announces. And recently, whether you realized it or not, heaven has been announcing you, announcing your transition, announcing your elevation, announcing that what once held you down can no longer keep you where you were. I've lived through seasons just like the one you're in right now. Seasons where God removed me from comfort so He could position me for calling. Seasons where what I thought was loss was actually divine pruning. Seasons where doors closed so violently I thought something was wrong, until God opened a door so aligned, so supernatural, so undeniable that I realized the previous door had to shut. I didn't see it then, but I understand it now. When God shifts your name, He also shifts your environment, your opportunities, and your circle. Some connections will fade. Some people will distance themselves. Some routines will no longer fit. And it won't be rejection, it will be alignment. Chosen one, the warfare you have experienced wasn't random, it was targeted. You were being pushed, pressed, stretched, and refined, because heaven was preparing you to carry something bigger than before. You cannot step into a new identity with old patterns. You cannot walk through a new door with an old mindset. You cannot receive divine promotion while clinging to a version of yourself God is trying to deliver you from. That discomfort you've been feeling, it was the spiritual indicator that the old you could not go where the new you is being sent. And let me tell you this, as someone who has walked through many spiritual transitions, the enemy always attacks hardest right before elevation. Your confusion, your exhaustion, your frustration, they were signs of closeness, not distance. You were moments away from breakthrough, and hell knew it. That's why the pressure increased. That's why the distractions intensified. That's why old wounds suddenly resurfaced. That's why doubt tried to creep back in. The enemy was afraid of what would happen once you realized who you are, and even more afraid of who you are becoming. But hear this clearly, anointed one, heaven has overridden every plan of the enemy. Something divine has been set in motion. Your name has been spoken in places you have not yet entered. Your destiny has been activated in realms you cannot yet see. Doors with your name on them have already been commanded to open. Resources assigned to your calling have begun to move. People connected to your next season are being positioned. This is not imagination. This is not emotional hype. This is a supernatural shift. I've experienced this kind of shift before, the kind that changes everything without warning. I remember seasons when I felt stuck, unseen, forgotten, only for God to move one piece, open one door, or send one person that changed the entire trajectory of my life. Those moments taught me that destiny is never delayed, just prepared. And, chosen one, your preparation is complete. This is your activation season. Heaven is not just lifting your name, heaven is aligning your life. And in part 3, we will go deeper into what this alignment means for your calling, your authority, and your supernatural inheritance. Chosen one. As we step into this next portion of the word, I need you to open your heart even wider. Because what heaven is aligning for you now goes beyond encouragement. It touches the core of your identity, your purpose, and the divine assignment that has been waiting for the right moment to unfold. And that moment is now. Anointed one, listen carefully. When God shifts your name into destiny, He also begins shifting the spiritual infrastructure around your life. It's like the unseen gears of heaven begin turning, quietly but powerfully, rearranging what once felt unmovable. You may not have seen the change yet, but you've sensed it. In the way certain things no longer settle in your spirit. In the way certain conversations suddenly feel too small. In the way your heart yearns for more because your destiny is calling you higher. I remember a season in my own life when God began stirring me out of everything familiar. I couldn't describe it to anyone because nothing looked different in the natural, but everything felt different. It was as if my spirit outgrew the room I was living in. My ambitions changed. My appetite changed. My sensitivity to God increased. And I later realized that heaven was transitioning me into a new phase long before my circumstances caught up. Chosen one, the same is happening to you. Heaven has already moved your name into a higher dimension. Now life is adjusting to match what God has spoken. This is why you feel disconnected from certain people. This is why old habits suddenly feel uncomfortable. This is why situations you once tolerated now drain you instantly. It is not because you are becoming distant, it is because you are becoming different. When God elevates your name, He elevates your standards, your discernment, your expectations, your spiritual hunger. What used to satisfy you no longer can, because your spirit has outgrown that level. And that growth is proof of your calling. Chosen one, I need to tell you something that might answer a question you've been silently carrying. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You have been attacked because the enemy recognized your elevation before you did. He noticed the shift in the spirit realm. He sensed that heaven was preparing to entrust you with influence, with responsibility, with authority. And because he could not stop the shift, he tried to distract your spirit. But let me speak this with authority. Every single distraction is breaking off your life right now. Every cloud of confusion is lifting. Every delay that once held you is losing its grip. Every lie spoken over your identity is being cancelled. You are not who the enemy said you were. You are not who your past says you were. You are who God named you to be. And heaven is calling that version of you forward. You may not fully grasp the magnitude of what's happening, but your spirit feels it. That sudden boldness, You can't explain that new clarity that keeps rising, that inner conviction that refuses to be silenced. That's heaven announcing your upgrade. Your name is being carried into rooms your feet haven't entered yet. Your name is being spoken in prayers you didn't know were prayed. Your name is being aligned with opportunities, connections, and resources that were previously unreachable. Anointed One, the lifting of your name is not just about position, it's about purpose. It means God is about to use your voice in a new way. It means God is preparing you to carry influence that impacts lives. It means you are stepping into a season where the grace on your life will speak louder than the obstacles around you. There is a reason heaven chose this moment to shift your name. There is a reason you're hearing this message at this exact point in your journey. There is a reason your spirit is awakening. And in part 4, we will go deeper into the supernatural promotions, divine appointments, and spiritual authority connected to this new identity that heaven is unveiling over you right now. Chosen One. As we step into this next movement of the message, I need you to understand something powerful. It is not just the atmosphere around you that is shifting, it is your spiritual identity that is being elevated. This is the hour where heaven is establishing new positions, new ranks, and new realms of authority specifically assigned to you. When your name is lifted in heavenly places, it does not simply mean you are being noticed. It means you are being authorized, entrusted, and promoted in the Spirit. These transitions rarely appear instantly in the natural, but your spirit feels them long before your eyes can see them. Your discernment grows sharper, your inner knowing becomes louder. Your old patterns stop fitting. This is heaven drawing you into a season of spiritual promotion. Anointed One, when I speak of promotion, I'm not talking about glamorous moments or visible achievements. I'm talking about those quiet encounters where God whispers into your spirit and suddenly something within you shifts forever. I'm talking about moments of awakening that only those who have endured pressure, silence, warfare, and spiritual stretching can truly understand. I've lived through those moments. I know the feeling of God pulling you out of what is familiar, not to punish you, but to position you for a deeper dimension of calling. And that same divine pull is happening in your life right now. There were doors you tried to open that remained stubbornly closed, not because you were unworthy, but because those doors were too small for the version of you God is raising. They were beneath the level of identity He is unlocking within you. Chosen One, you do not belong to that old space anymore. Heaven is pulling you away from environments that could never hold the fullness of your destiny. And here is the part that many overlook. Heaven is not only opening doors, heaven is positioning you. You no longer have to chase opportunity. Opportunity is being reassigned to find you. You no longer have to strive to prove your worth. Your worth is being affirmed in the courts of heaven. When your name is announced in the spirit realm, everything in the natural must eventually align with that announcement. Anointed One, some people will drift away from your life. Do not cling to them. They are not enemies. They are simply not assigned to the level God is elevating you into. Some relationships will fade. It's not failure. It's divine refinement. Some doorways will close abruptly, not because you misstepped, but because God is shielding you from spaces that are too small, too draining, or too misaligned for your new identity. I've walked through seasons like that, unexpected losses, sudden changes, shifts that made no sense at the time. But then God opened a door I could have never opened myself, connected me with people I could have never reached on my own, and placed me in rooms I once believed were out of my league. It was then I understood. Each time God lifts your name, He expands your territory. widens your capacity, and increases your influence. Chosen one, you are entering a season where heaven is about to publicly position you, not for spotlight, not for ego, but so that the glory of God can be revealed through your life. People who overlooked you will begin to notice you. Doors that denied you will suddenly recognize your name. Answers you've been praying for will begin to manifest. Alignment will take place before your eyes. Because when heaven elevates your name, your entire life must rise to meet it. And in part 5, we will step into the responsibility, honor, and supernatural weight that comes with this elevation. Chosen one. As we move into this final chapter of the message, I want you to feel the full weight of what heaven is placing on your spirit. Everything you have walked through, every battle you survived, every season that tried to silence you, has brought you to this exact moment of divine unveiling. Your name has not only shifted into destiny, heaven is now summoning you to walk in that destiny with a new level of boldness, maturity, and spiritual authority. This is the part many people overlook. When God elevates your name, He is also elevating your responsibility, not in a way that burdens you, but in a way that reveals how trusted you are in the kingdom. Anointed one, you have been stretched, refined, and tested in ways most people will never understand. There were nights when you questioned your own strength, days where you wondered if you misheard God, moments when you felt like giving up entirely. Yet here you stand, not broken, but sharpened, not forgotten, but chosen, not dismissed, but divinely repositioned. That alone is evidence that heaven has been shaping you quietly, intentionally, and relentlessly for this very season. I've lived through seasons like this myself. I know what it feels like when God is preparing you for something greater than your current environment can hold. There's a tension, a spiritual pull, a sense that the old version of you is dissolving while a new version emerges. It feels confusing at first, almost like you're outgrowing your own life. But with time, I learned that this sensation is the signature of destiny. It is the signal that heaven is expanding your capacity for the assignment attached to your name. Chosen one. You are experiencing that expansion now. And what's unfolding in your life is not random. It is crafted, intentional, prophetic. Heaven is entrusting you with influence that carries weight in the spirit. Your words will begin to shift atmospheres. Your presence will bring clarity. Your obedience will open doors not just for you, but for everyone connected to your calling. This is why the warfare was heavy. This is why the pruning was painful. The enemy did not attack you because you were weak. He attacked because he saw the magnitude of what you were destined to carry. But he failed. The very areas where he tried to destroy you are becoming the areas where God will display you. The shame that once crushed you will become the testimony that frees others. The fear that once paralyzed you will become the boldness you now walk in. The places you once hid will become the platforms where heaven amplifies your voice. And hear this clearly. Your elevation is not merely personal, it is generational. Your future children, your bloodline, your community, your spiritual descendants will walk through doors that your faithfulness is opening right now. You are stepping into a calling that stretches beyond your lifespan. Your yes will ripple through time. That is why heaven takes your preparation so seriously. That is why you have felt the call to purge distractions, purify your intentions, guard your atmosphere, and align your actions with your assignment. Heaven is not raising someone who will rise quickly and fall loudly. Heaven is raising someone who will rise steadily, walk humbly, and remain anchored. Someone who can be trusted with influence, wealth, wisdom, and spiritual authority. Someone who will not be shaken by applause nor destroyed by opposition. Someone who has learned to listen, to surrender, to discern, and to obey. Chosen one, if God lifted your name, it is because He already strengthened your character. If heaven shifted your identity, it is because you are ready to embody it. And if destiny is calling you now, it is because the time has come. Step forward, anointed one, not as who you were, but as who heaven has declared you to be. Chosen one, as we come to the close of this message, pause and let your spirit breathe. You are standing in a holy moment. Heaven has spoken your name, and the shift has already begun. What God has released today is not symbolic, it is prophetic, active, and already moving in your favor. You are not waiting for destiny to arrive. Destiny has arrived for you. Anointed one, you have stepped into your Kairos moment, the moment where divine timing meets divine intention. The supernatural transfer has begun. What was locked is opening. What was delayed is accelerating. What was hidden is being revealed. Heaven has placed its seal upon your name, and nothing on earth can reverse what God has declared. If this word resonated deeply in your spirit, let your agreement be known. Type "shifted" in the comments as a sacred act of alignment, not for attention, but as a prophetic declaration that you receive what heaven has spoken over your identity. Share this message only if you feel led, so those who are weary and forgotten can be reminded that heaven has not overlooked them. Chosen one, walk forward with reverence, move with clarity, speak with authority. The mantle on your life has been reaffirmed, the oil on your name has increased, and the God who called you is the same God who will carry you. Go now, not in fear, but in divine confidence. You are chosen. You are marked. You are shifted into destiny. Step into what heaven has already written for you.